Good morning. What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the My Crypto Journey live stream here for Coffee and Crypto on a gloomy Monday day here in sunny San Diego, which is kind of lame. But here's the thing, guys. It's been dry for news. And right when we needed something to freaking talk about, out comes Saitama off the top ropes with the same old story. Now, if you guys have not been in the Twitter sphere, a lot of stuff has gone down recently. Most notably, and we'll get into like the thick of everything at the 5-minute mark, Saitama Guru's ex-wife, or current wife, but now ex, I believe, made a lot of allegations against him, the project, and those sorts of things. And we're going to get into that right now. But first, I want to thank today's sponsors. And huge shout out to Faltron. At first, when this whole debacle started, the whole Saitama thing, when I was kind of going against the grain, there was really no one on my side except for a few other smaller YouTubers that kind of came from our channel, right? The Degenerates, like Sandstorm and other people like that. But things have changed since then. They kind of saw like how suspicious and shady Saitama was, and they've done all they could do to expose this project. So it's not like they were like, oh, we support Saitama, and now we're going to go ahead and just, say we don't support him and not talk about it. They've been making a calculated effort to do everything they can to put this thing out in the open, right? To expose Saitama. Now, since then, I've kind of just stopped talking about it so much just because kind of like beating a dead horse at this point, but we have new information that's absolutely insane. And to top it all off, I know Faltron's been working or been hitting up Coffeezilla, and we all know who Coffeezilla is. We watch his videos constantly on our live stream, right? Hitting up Coffeezilla to expose Saitama. And I know in the past that there were some pieces of the puzzle that were missing, so he probably couldn't do like an in-depth investigation, but maybe now he can, since we kind of got word from the person who was closest to Russ, the COO of Saitama. So hopefully Coffeezilla gets on it and makes a video about it, and which I missed this part of the Twitter live space. And it's going to be a long stream today, guys. We're doing a long stream today. It's going to be a Super Bowl stream, right? Maybe like 3 or 4 hours. We'll see. But Coffeezilla popped into the Twitter live space and actually asked some questions. So we'll see what happens. So shout out to the people out there working hard, still trying to do what they can to expose this project. But this project really taught us a lot about crypto. It taught us a lot about DeFi. Guys, tomorrow is going to be my 1-year anniversary on YouTube. Tomorrow, and one of the thing that really threw my channel, I would say, like, into the stratosphere, you could say, that got me like thousands of subscribers, and I only have 20K subscribers. It's not a big channel, but the thing that really got the ball rolling was my coverage of Saitama. But through this year, through our crypto journey, we've learned a lot of things about these small cap cryptocurrency products that are offering us the world. And last night I went back for about an hour last night, and I looked through all my old YouTube videos, and like where we were then to where we're at now when it comes to cryptocurrency and just understanding DeFi is literally night and day. And some of the people that are so against Saitama, I'm reading some of their comments in my comments, like supporting Saitama just like I was, right? I mean, I had the and I was infatuated with it because, yeah, I understood cryptocurrency back then, but not really like we do today. Shout out to Kel Bell in the chat. What's up, baby? What's up? I saw Feltron in it too. What's up, baby? Welcome, guys. So it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out and to see if Coffeezilla decides to make a story about it, because I definitely think it's big enough. It hit a $6 or $7 billion market cap at all-time high with no real product and pretty much just based on lies. So to me, that's pretty big. That's a big deal. There's a lot of projects that are, the top 100, that are not even close to a $6 billion market cap. Look at this. If Saitama were to hit a $7 billion market cap today, it'd be in the top 15 of all cryptocurrency projects. And yes, I know it's a bear market, but still, that puts things into perspective. It's no small feat to hit a $7 billion market cap, especially when there's no real use case, especially when you see products like Uniswap or Litecoin or Chainlink or Cosmos in the top 20, right? That have been, contributing to the DeFi space for a long time. Right. So first, let's go ahead and thank my sponsors. So shout out to my sponsors, all the products sponsoring my channel, of course, MetaMonkey AI, Debt Connect, and Banana Task Force Apes. So of course, MetaMonkey AI just released their Peer wallet. Of course, hashtag ad. These are sponsors. I am being paid to sponsors. Obviously, you guys know that I'm pretty transparent. If you guys want to check anything out about these products, links to everything is in the description down below. Now, MetaMonkey AI, a lot of people didn't really like this project, but guys, they went over to Korea, partnership with NS Lab, bunch of PhD students, right? Hungry, ready to make a difference in the realm of cryptocurrency when it comes to the metaverse. You have a lot of people working on this project, and they're taking it seriously. Now, will it be the next best thing? Maybe. Could it fail? Probably. It probably could. But the upside is so great, and the effort that the team is putting into this project, to me, is absolutely insane. So shout out to MetaMonkey AI. I'm excited for the Pure Wallet. I'm excited to see what happens when the market starts to run and we start to see some progress when it comes to their Pure Wallet. Of course, a Debt Connect, a cryptocurrency platform hell-bent on making you a better investor. I'm making a series on doing your own research. Why? Because when you do your own research, you can spot out the shadiness of some of these projects. I have 3 videos done. They're in the description down below. I'm making a 4th tonight, and there may be a 5th one to complete the series on how to properly do research when it comes to researching cryptocurrency products. So check them out. Links to everything is in the description down below. Look for that video to drop tonight. And I have a playlist on my channel about doing your own research, just in case you're thinking about aping into a cryptocurrency project. And lastly, thank you for BTFA for sponsoring the channel this month. We'll be having a Twitter live space where we'll be giving away, I think it's two giveaways. A 2-part $500 giveaway. So Friday. So I'm all about getting, free money to you guys. So Friday, join the live space. There'll be some requirements. Do the things, what they want you to do. Get in there. Enter for your chance to win $500, right? Remember when I do my sponsorships, I'm not telling you it's going to be, the next best thing. But some of these products are going to go absolutely crazy during an actual bull market. So clickety-clack that like button. Push us up in the old algorithm, and let's jump into the Saitama rabbit hole after we go over the market. So the market right now, Bitcoin's down 1%, ETH's down 1%. Everything's trading sideways, kind of dirtling. We'll go over the macroeconomic situation. We'll get into the cryptocurrency stuff. The Saitama stuff right now. Overall market's pretty much trading sideways. Guys, we are so early in cryptocurrency. The other day, $930 billion was wiped out of the U.S. stock market in one day. The entire cryptocurrency market right now is $930 billion. That puts things into perspective, right? It puts things into perspective when you think about how small cryptocurrency is. Dollar cost average into the top projects. It should be 70, 20, 10. 70% into tried and true projects that have been around that are stable. 20% into small cap plays with good teams, right? Docs developers, a clear use case, and liquidity to get them through a bear market. 10% should be into absolute degenerate shitcoin plays. Those fun ones that are just memes, no docs developers, all the shill groups on Twitter, you're seeing them. That should be 10% of your plays right now in a bear market. When the market starts to run again, well, then maybe you can ape, right? You can ape into these plays, right? What's up, Jake G in the chat? Jake G, yes, me and Jake are going to be doing a joint live stream. I thought it was 9 a.m., Jake G. Me and Jake G are going to be doing live streams, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Give me a second. I thought it was See, I thought it was 9 a.m. But yes, so me and Jake are going to be doing 2 joint live streams a week, baby. So get ready. Jake G and Rodney going to be up in this to give you guys the crypto news. It's good to see you, Jake G. Become a really good friend of mine in the space. But without further ado, let's get into it because I know you guys are hungry for the Saitama stuff. And we're going to listen to the whole, maybe not the whole thing, but a good majority of it because I think the last hour is kind of But the whole thing when it comes to, I want to see when Coffeezilla comes into this chat. So if you want to check it out, links to everything is in the description down below. But let's jump into it. Let me know if you guys can hear. You should be able to hear. Got it. See.
Okay, well, I apologize. That was actually my fault. It wasn't working on my end, so I got the new space, and we're good to go. So I guess I have to be, responsible here, and I do have to have a certain level of skepticism that you are who you say you are. I'm not saying I don't believe you. What I'm saying is, how do we verify that you are in fact Christina Lukin?
Lupine.
Lukin, I'm sorry. Russ's wife.
Is this not proof enough?
Yeah, it is. Yes.
It is because I personally thought that was a
talk to
fake
you,
account, and I went on a DM to Christine herself, and then she literally spoke to me on Facebook too, and she accepted the request. She spoke, so I can confirm that is actually her real account.
I have had a lot of fake or people make fake accounts of me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. People have hacked into my older children's accounts pretending to be them. It's just what hackers and scammers do. But I assure you, I have had the same exact Facebook account for over 10 years. I've never changed anything.
And I do know that when she met I did not go to the Vegas event, but friends of mine did. And when you met them there, you added them from that account that you were using to speak with Rashid earlier. So
yes, I did.
She
from
does
what
have,
I can tell, it's legit. But
she does have pictures from the same account that she spoke to me on Facebook with Russ all the way back to 2011 that was posted.
And that's when we got married. We got married on March 3rd of 2012. And I've had a Facebook account way before I even met Russ.
Yes, because when you spoke to me, I was still skeptical about the account. So I went through the photos, and you actually did have pictures with Russ from 2011 on your Facebook. So I knew that was a real account.
I just want to put this out there, though.
Wait, did she delete her account? I think she deleted her account. Did she delete her account? Because yesterday we were kind of skeptical about her, it being her, but then she showed us video of her walking through the old studio. So did she delete her account? Let's go.
Have to be real.
And keep in mind, guys, when it comes to people really, her going into a relationship like this, I take the whole relationship stuff with a grain of salt, right? I do take that with a grain of salt. But when it comes to the allegations she made about the project, I think it's something we should listen to, right? It's something we should listen to. And it probably got mass reported, right? She took a video of inside the old studio. There's no way that's, not her. So it's for sure her. But, so, okay, people reported her account. All right, Kelbell. All right, let's get into it.
Really careful about what I do and what I say, because I was advised by my attorney to not even engage with anybody on social media until the divorce is final, because he can sue me for defamation of character. And I assure you he will, because he's done it before.
He has sued you for defamation of character or other people.
Yeah, well,
Christine, you need to know that we have your back. You have people that really wants to know about more information, but if you're not able to say nothing about it, there's nothing you can do. But we know that
Coco, hold on.
What is done is done. And honestly, I was with Russell when he had nothing. Okay, I met him in Kodiak, Alaska, where I'm originally from. We got married there in 2012. We have been married and together for a total of 12 years. We have a 10-year-old child together, along with 2 older sons of mine that are not his. He was in the Navy for 10 years, and he was a federal firefighter. He was unemployed for over a year because when we lived in Savannah, Georgia, and he worked for the logistics company there, he ran that company into the ground, I assure you. He put us $190,000 in debt because he never reported the income to the IRS and never paid taxes. We had lost everything and had to sell everything that we owned because he lost his job because of that, and we had to move back to Alaska. When we moved back to Alaska from Georgia, I had to move in back with my father because he was unemployed and we were homeless. When I was living with my father for 3 months, Russ was overseas in a contracting firefighter job for in Saudi Arabia. And when he was over there, he ended up getting fired from that job because he was making alcohol with his roommate. This is all public information. All you people have to do is do your research. Okay.
Now, I mean, this leads into my video on doing your research on developers. Now, the thing that really pisses me off about the situation, guys, and what really makes me mad is that, dude, we were just like straight up told that these people involved with this project before were like some successful businessmen, and like they had successful businesses, and they weren't using any Saitama tokens at all. They weren't dumping the product at all. They were paying for it out of their pocket. Like all that shit is just a lie. It's something we thought was a lie, but it's like, it's a lie. This stuff she's saying, you don't make this stuff up. This is not some script. That's coming from the heart, right? Now, the stuff she says when she gets about the person he's with now, because he's, I guess, allegedly he cheated on her. I don't know what happened, but, you know, allegedly. We'll see what happens. Let's go.
In Alaska, he almost got arrested and went to federal prison because he forged a signature for opioids. Okay? There is a paper trail and history of drug abuse with this man, along with Samantha Katz, who is now having an affair with. Of course, he's going to stay connected to that woman because that's his drug dealer.
Now, I'm not saying that anything about. I'm not confirming or saying or you know, championing her opinion on the fact that, or she thinks that he's a drug user and he's using a lot of drugs and the girl he's with is a drug. That's not my thing. My main focus is lying to us and saying you're this guy, right? You're this guy who's successful and making this project that promised us the world at the time. So this stuff right here to me is, you know, not the most important part, but she's talking about it. Let's continue.
When you say drug dealer, what kind of drugs do you mean? Are they prescription drugs and she has the prescription, or is she a drug dealer?
They used to be. When we lived in Savannah, Georgia, he was on tramadol for his back because he got hurt when he was in the Navy, and he was on some other high potent stuff that was almost like heroin. And when he wouldn't have that stuff, he would literally have convulsions and go into withdrawals. And that's what he was on when we were in Alaska. And they would not give it to him anymore. And he couldn't afford to pay for them anymore because he didn't have a job. So he forged a prescription for them. We literally had cops show up at our house, and he was going to get arrested. And he was go to federal. And the only reason he got out of that is because of his military background.
So we do know, guys, like, in Russ, and one of the things I found out about Russ's past, and I'm not sure if it's for drugs, I don't know what it was for, but we do know there was some sort of forgery charge on his background. And when I found that out, I thought it was pretty shady, right? I made a video on it like in November. I was like, or December. I was like, this is pretty shady. He has fraud in his background. What is it for? Well, this kind of aligns. This doesn't sound coached. It sounds legit. Is it legit? I don't know, but we do know that's for sure what happened. We know that he did get charged for some sort of forgery, fraud charge. That we know that, right? So that's what happened. So is this why? I don't know. Let's see.
He almost lost his security clearance because of that.
And that was for forging a prescription because he was addicted to opiates.
Yes. And now he is addicted to cocaine heavily. He spends $400 to $1,000 a week on cocaine just for himself.
That's why the weight of laws and everything, right?
So all y'all's money is going up his nose.
That's the quote. Right? Now, I don't know, guys. Look at emotions are high in marriages, right? Yeah, no one paid her to talk to anybody, guys. She's just, she's just coming out to say what you want. Now, do I know he's using cocaine? No. I mean, a lot of people blamed it on his weight loss. I just said maybe he's getting into shape, because he was getting pretty big when the bull run started happening. I lost a lot of weight. He lost a lot of weight. Maybe, he's getting shredded for the summer. But a lot of people said that it looked a little suspicious. And this is coming from his ex. So let's see what happens.
Damn.
That is that. Hold on. Let's hold on. Just one sec. So, wow, this is unbelievable. So Russ' ex-wife is here. Christina,
Be
I'm sorry if I
ex-wife.
butchered your
Let's
last
clear
name.
that up. Let's clear that up. We are in a separation. We are not legally separated. We are still legally married. I am still his wife. He is still my husband. What he is doing is adultery. He
100%.
has been threatening me that he got a restraining order on me and that he filed a divorce, but I have yet to be served and signed for anything.
Keep in mind, there's two parts to a story, right? There's always two parts to a story. We didn't get the second half, but we did get something, and we'll get into what Russ's response was. Let's continue.
I have not been served with anything. So all he's doing right now is making threats and trying to scare me. He refuses to pay child support for his son. So I had to file for child support through the state of Texas Attorney General's office. So now he has no choice.
Can I ask, do you know approximately how many millions of dollars Russ had cashed out of Saitama?
I for a fact if it's millions, but it's close to, I can tell you that. I do not have access to his wallet or any of that. I'm not tech savvy like that. I have no clue. Honestly, you guys, I have not paid attention enough in any of this. And I have no idea how much money he even has. I don't know what other coins he's invested in. I have no idea how much money in Saitama he even has. He has taken me off his bank account. I have no more access to his money or his accounts. He froze all assets. I have no access to credit cards. I have none of that. The only way that I can get that is from my lawyer when we go to mediation. I do not have that information right now. What I can tell you is the things that he bought and how much they cost. I have the title for the Lambo. I have the titles for both houses. I have the title for the land. I have receipts of purchases for expensive jewelry he's bought for himself and for me. That's all I can tell you right now.
And all
What's
of
the
this
stat?
came-
What's the status of the house that you guys were building? The 7,000 square foot house.
Yes, we did already pay $30,000 for an architect to draw up the plans. The plans have been finalized. We paid $30,000 to put a road in on the property. So that is all money that we lost out on because we will not get it back. We did not start building because we're going through a divorce. Our real estate agent has listed the property for sale. We bought that property for $300,000 cash, and it'll be sold for that amount.
Oh,
All right, I do have, all right. It's a very simple, respectful question. So before all of that, Russ lost everything. He filed bankruptcy. You suffered because of the mistakes that he has done. Now, my question is this. Everything, I mean, the house, the two houses, the car, the new car, the jewelry, everything. Did all of that come after Saitama? All of
Yes.
that? All right.
Oh,
then I
yes,
guess
absolutely. Oh, no, absolutely. I don't know if you guys know this, but I think I mentioned it earlier and I've mentioned it to people in the Facebook messages, but I'm his third wife. Okay. He was married before me. And when I met him, he was paying $2,000 a month in alimony to his ex-wife. Okay.
now all this stuff to get to the true message, like the alimony, the ex-wife, whatever. If I could clip each section, I would, but I can't. Got to go through it. What stuck out to me right there was, no, there was no successful businessman before Saitama. There was none of that. And in the message, in the live stream, he talks about after. He talks about, well, we're doxxed, and the only reason why we're dealing with this stuff is because we're doxxed. We don't have to be doxxed. It's like, no, being doxxed is the rule now. Shiba Inu, Bitcoin are the exception, not the rule. To me, the message here was, no, you weren't this businessman, right? You weren't this businessman, this successful guy before this project. You didn't have to lie about that, right? But he lied about it. He lied to all of us about it. Let's continue.
He was broke. He had nothing when I met him. We moved from Alaska for him to get this federal firefighting job here out on the Kingsville base. I came with him here, obviously. When we moved here, I swear to God on my son's life, we had nothing. All we had was 3 suitcases, one for me, one for him, and one for our son, and the clothes on our back. We came here with nothing.
So that whole thing about how you guys were rich before crypto and all that other stuff, that was bullshit, right?
Oh, that's a blatant fucking lie. Blatant lie.
Okay.
So well, everybody, let me introduce. Hey, GTC, it's nice to see you. Nice to talk to you.
Shout out to DTC.
Damn, that's crazy. Good buddy of mine. And we got Coffeezilla in the building.
Here we go. Let's go. Coffeezilla. Okay. Okay. Here it is. Okay, this is what I wanted to hear. I didn't get to catch this part yesterday, so this is what I wanted to hear. Let's go.
Hey guys, I want to just chime in real quick here. So we're getting the official scoop that you guys did not have money before Saitama, and that essentially the only way Russ could have gotten all this money is by siphoning it from the project to go up his nose in your kind of like way of saying it, right? He's spending it all on cocaine. Is that what you're saying?
And
that
Lambos,
is correct.
And the Lambo. Don't forget the Lambo and the house and the jewelry.
Let's let Coffee and Christina talk real quick.
Okay, so the Lamborghini, yes, he bought that and he paid the whole thing with cash, and that cost like $300 and something thousand, and he sold that a couple of months ago to get cash to invest in a local bar here in Corpus Christi, Texas. I do not know the name of the bar. However, I have been there and I've seen it and I've looked at it with my own eyes. It is still under construction. He did go and sign for a liquor license. He's just waiting for that. So he sold the Lambo. He no longer has that. He invested in some kind of media company. I don't know, some media company out of LA. I have no idea about what that is about. We bought a rental house that he paid $300,000 cash for. That is going to be listed for sale pretty soon. If he doesn't get that in the divorce, then we will be selling that.
Well, how did he have the cash to pay for that? Do you remember him ever talking about how he got access to all this cash?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Do you remember him ever telling you how he got access to all this cash?
Saitama, bro. He cashed out.
He took it from Saitama.
Okay. Yep.
So he would tell you that. He was open with that. That was an open secret.
He was pulling that money out of his Saitama bag to pay for stuff. And he has other coins that he invests in also.
This is what pisses me off the most. If you guys have been following my channel, this is what really grinds my gears, because this MF told us, I don't want to hurt the chart. I would never cash out tokens to pay for other things. We were paying for everything out of our pockets because we have a bunch of money. We're successful businessmen. All blatant lies, dumping on everybody. Well, they encourage you to hodl. Insane. Let's continue.
Also, that he has made money off of, that he's pulled out of that also. But he's also a Navy veteran. He was in the Navy for over 10 years, and he's a 100% disabled vet. So he does get like a lot of money from the VA. So that's our normal income. But I'm telling you right now, when he was a firefighter, we were living paycheck to paycheck, and we were suffering all the time. All of this temporary wealth that he has had in the past year and a half, or I should say that we had in the past year and a half, has come from Saitama. That is the truth. That is correct.
Because with all due respect, I mean, being a disabled vet does not get you enough money to buy your house.
Oh, exactly. Exactly.
Correct. When did you see Russ kind of spiraling out of control with these addictions that you're accusing him of and these other things?
He started spiraling out of control about 5 or 6 months ago.
When V2 just came in? When Saitama V2?
Yes. So one of my older sons had reached out to him the other day when he found out about him taking his mistress to Jamaica. And he literally, and I have the text messages to prove it, He literally told my son, like, he was justifying his addiction to cocaine. And he told my son, because my son asked him, how do you even get visitation of Landon if you're using?
Now that's crazy. Jamaica. Rastaman vibration. Yeah, man. This motherfucker is with his mistress in Jamaica. Now, guys, of course she was complicit. Of course she was. Of course. Duh. You think she was always against him? No, but he did her dirty in her eyes. Whatever. I don't know what happened. Did she cheat? Because she says he's gonna accuse her cheating on him. Apparently there was some shit, right? Maybe she was complicit. Maybe she's mad that he is with some other girl in Jamaica. But still, she doesn't mean she's not telling the truth about the other things that happened. Of course she's pissed off. Wouldn't you be pissed off? Let's continue. Clapping cheeks in Jamaica, man. Yeah, man. Bomb clock, man. Okay, I'll stop. That's racist. All right.
And he told my son, I run 6 businesses. Never mind what I do.
Do you have these text messages?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you should DM them to me. Yeah. Okay.
And
okay.
he is paying this girl for sex.
No, Yoshi, you should
And
definitely
I
DM
have-
that to the rug pull papers too.
I have the receipts for that too.
You have
This
receipts?
is not him, people. This is not him. This is not the Russ I know. Is not the Russ I fell in love with and married. I can promise you that. This is the addiction talking, and this is the addiction in action. He is not himself. He lost over 100 pounds from coke. He is making y'all believe that he's in the gym every day working out. That's a blatant lie too. He snorts blow from the moment he wakes up until the moment he goes to bed every day, all day long.
shit.
Because when he's coming down off of that stuff, he gets really sick and he gets a really bad migraine. So he'll snort more blow to make the migraine go away.
Oh my gosh, this is an incredibly serious addiction. Do you feel like Saitama has enabled this addiction to some extent and like made it worse?
I wouldn't say Saitama. I would say the things that are going on in his personal life. I think that he's going through stuff and he's fighting stuff, and I think he's hurting, and I think that he's just using this girl to get back at me and to hurt me too, because that's my best friend. You know what I'm saying? It's just a very petty, vindictive, spiteful roller coaster of shit is basically how I can put it. I don't know what else to say. I don't really have the words. All I know is this is the most humiliating, disrespectful thing anybody has ever done to me in my entire life. And it's really hard to talk about. And he doesn't care how he's hurting his son. I mean, my son asked me 2 days ago. He said, Mommy, why is Samantha in Daddy's bed? I mean, he had that girl over there in his bed doing coke with my son there. Like, you people do not understand the magnitude of this situation. It's really, really bad.
Now, the crazy part of all this, and that's really sad, right? But we'll find out later. We'll find out later that apparently what happened was Russ he said he accused her of cheating. She had some Snapchat conversations, and now Russ apparently was like is running off with like her best friend and stuff like that. So that's what's going on right now. So that's the issue, right? What's going on? That's what probably broke them apart. Now we don't know what happened, right? Russ had a chance to address it, but he doesn't really. And when we get into his rebuttal, you'll see what I mean. It's the same old shit. Let's continue.
And the thing that sucks the most is that you all know who I am. Y'all met me in Vegas, or half of you did. You know I'm his wife. You know that girl is not his wife. He's still married to me. I got them on my security footage, okay, before I took off to Alaska. And this was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I caught them making out on my security footage right on my fucking front porch, okay? I caught them and I heard everything that they were saying and I saw everything with my own eyes. And I forwarded the videos to both of them and they straight up lied. And I was like, you know what? Screw you guys. I'm taking off. I'm leaving. I'm divorcing you. And I left. I left everything. And I went back home to Alaska because I had to remove myself from the toxic situation because that's how bad it was. And when I left and I went home back to my family, he was threatening me that he was going to report that I abandoned my son. And so that is why I came back. I came back for my son. I do not want the money. I don't want any of this shit. I don't care about any of it. I come from a very, very poor family. Okay. I know what it's like to have nothing. But all I want is my son and to never have to see his face again. That's it.
Now, I do think this is out of spite. Now, that doesn't mean that there's no truth to it, but of course she wants money, right? Let's continue.
That's obviously horrible what you've experienced, and I'm sure I speak for a lot of people when we say, you know, we're sorry that you're going through this. If I can ask you, what do you think needs to happen to Russ to make him stop? You know, obviously he's on his path of destruction, and he's stealing people's money allegedly, and he's got these
It's the
horrible
drugs.
addictions. But what needs to happen to him? Because he's not going to stop, right? And at this point, he's damaged so many lives of different people, associated with Saitama, at least from what you're saying. So what do you think? Do you think there needs to be law enforcement involved? What do you think needs to happen?
Well, I tried to get law enforcement involved.
Really?
I tried to get law enforcement involved, and they said to dispute right now, and that there's nothing that has been reported by a judge as far as visitation or who that my son gets to live with or anything like that. All he's doing is threatening me right now at this point. I haven't been served with anything. So because there's no proof stating who has custody, blah, 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 anything like that, like the cops just keep saying it's a civil matter and they can't do anything about it. Texas is a no-fault state. And everything has to be split 50-50 here. Now, I had consulted with a lawyer in Alaska because that is where we got married. And so I asked the lawyer there when I was there in Alaska if it would benefit me to file for a divorce where we got married. But Alaska is now out of jurisdiction because we do not reside there anymore. Because we're in Texas, I had to file for a divorce in the county that we reside. I had tried to get a restraining order on both him and Samantha, and I was denied the restraining order because in Texas, in order to get a protective order, it has to be an immediate threat, and there has to be proof of some sort of domestic violence. And I'll just put that out there right now. Russ does not abuse me physically in any type of ways, never laid a hand on me like that, ever. It's just that it's the mental and emotional and narcissistic abuse and all of this drama and the harassment and it goes on and on and on, and it's exhausting. And I tried to get a restraining order on both of them and I was denied. So believe me when I tell you I am doing everything that I can to involve law enforcement and everything. I even told the people at the courthouse that there's drugs and cartel involved. And because I do not have pictures and video proof of these dangerous people, they will not allow me to get a restraining order on him. So
What do you
now,
mean? What do you
my
mean
hands are tied.
the cartel is involved? Can you kind of expand on that?
What's that?
What do you mean the cartel is involved? Do you have
his drug dealer is somebody who had just got out of prison like 6 months ago. This guy was in prison for over 10 years for drugs. And this guy has murdered someone before. And this guy is he's has connections with really dangerous people.
So for all the people who kind of like, there's two sides of this, right? There's obviously the things going on with the family. There's also the things going on with, you know, the money that he's taken from the project. What do you think should be done on that side of things, right? Like, not even just like the civil, like the divorce and all that kind of stuff in custody, but actually like the stolen money. What do you think should happen to your husband?
He'll probably end up in prison. It's fraud. It's a scam.
Wow.
I was even advised by a lawyer I had a consult with that him not reporting the money that he has tied up over there in Dubai. What he's doing is illegal. It's fraud. Do you people not understand that? He is not reporting that to the IRS because he doesn't want to report it as income because he would have to pay child support based off of that income.
Fuck. Whoa. Right? Whoa.
Yeah,
Wait a second. You're telling us he doesn't report on to the IRS his income, his proper income? You're saying that? Like, how much do you think he's not reporting?
Millions.
all of it. Like myself, Faltron, Skywalker, Riddler, like we picked this shit apart months ago and said that he's probably not reporting any of his income.
The last time that Russ has ever showed me proof on his phone of his wallet, he had almost $10 million there. But that was over a year ago when Saitama first started.
And that was probably just in one wallet.
And now I have no idea how much money he has in there.
I
do not have a big Saitama. He has never ever set me up with a Saitama account. He set his mistress up with a Saitama account and she made 60 grand on it.
So you're telling us he committed tax fraud on top of a regular fraud, on top of scams, and he's addicted. I mean, so you do see this ending up in jail for him?
Yep.
Coffee,
wow. And that is completely out of my hands. Once that this divorce goes public, and I'm telling you people right now, this is why he is withholding the assets and why he froze everything and why he refuses to give me a dime, because he knows that it is Texas state law that adultery is illegal here. And he also knows that Texas state law, being married for over 10 years, I am entitled to everything. That includes everything from when he was in the military until now. And so what I feel like he's doing right now is testing me to see how I'm going to play this out, because money is power. And he took it all. And I have nothing. I swear to you on my life right now, I have $100 to my name when this man is out there in Jamaica with another woman and refuses to pay child support for his son. That is disgusting.
Is he currently in Jamaica? And is that the real reason why he didn't go to Dubai? Because a lot of us have speculated that he wasn't able to actually attain a passport, or that Dubai wouldn't allow him in, because he has used the same excuse 2 years in a row, claiming it was the COVID PCR test.
Yes, I can vouch for that. Russ did have COVID the first time. He was very sick. He was very, very sick. He did have COVID the first time. But he got COVID from Samantha because she had COVID, and they got COVID after we came back from a family trip in Mexico. That's when he got sick. Okay? But he has never been vaccinated. Okay? And he has a fake
All right, I'm going to take a piss. I listened to this part, but you know what? After all like that shit that we went through, everybody like talking crap about us, this fucking dev team coming out and calling us all kinds of shit, fodder and stuff like that, it feels good to be vindicated. Feels good to be vindicated. I'm going to take a piss, but listen to this part. It's nuts.
Vaccine card that he literally picked somebody in California for the last time he was in LA.
So is that the reason he wasn't able to go to Dubai? And he actually made comment that he tried to get to Dubai, but because of the vaccine card and the fact he didn't have the physical card, only the picture, they wouldn't allow him in. Do you know if he ever had intention to go to Dubai?
Let me tell y'all something. I know that he was on his way to Dubai. I know that he bought the plane ticket. I was with him the night before he was leaving to Dubai. He was up all night until 6 a.m. doing cocaine before he got on the plane.
And
And
you think
he
that
lied.
because of that is part of the reason he didn't make it there?
I think that he did not go to Dubai because he had his mistress with him and he didn't want people in the community to know that he was with somebody else other than his wife. And when he was trying to get to Dubai, they wouldn't let him in because he had a fake vaccination card. It's not real.
Oh shit.
And he took a picture of it because he doesn't have the card because I have it.
So just so you guys know, she did show us the vaccination card yesterday on video. She showed us the receipt for the Lamborghini he sold, like she said she did. She sold a lot of stuff. She showed us a lot of stuff. All right. She showed us a lot of stuff on video. So
And so when he posted on Twitter and said that he was rerouting all of his flights, yeah, he rerouted them with his mistress to take her to Jamaica. Yes, he is still there. I got the proof about him being with her in Jamaica from a mutual friend on Snapchat. That's how I got the proof. And he was taunting me with it, like sending me pictures of like, and I knew it was her, and like she has tattoos all over, right? So he was only like taking
damn.
pictures of like areas of her body that she didn't have tattoos, and I'm like, you really like insulting my intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just disgusting. The whole thing is disgusting. And then when somebody was like, "Did you know that Samantha is in Jamaica with your husband?" And I was like, "What the fuck?" And then they sent me those pictures, and but now he's going down for adultery, and I'll take him for everything he's worth because
Damn.
I do not care anymore. What he's doing is not. He is destroying his family. He's destroying his son, and it's not okay. And he will not get away with this.
You are absolutely correct. He isn't going to get away with it because first, the community that he robbed is going to get their shit off the fucking top, the way that they should have been the last year and a half. I think everybody in this room was invested in this token at some point, and he robbed all of us to buy Lambos and buy blow. We're talking bank fraud, wire fraud, forgery, mortgage fraud, evasion. Like, he's going to lose his VA benefits because obviously, like, he violated everything that makes you get VA benefits in the first fucking place. So yes.
Also, I wanted to mention, I tried to show proof of his actual bachelor's degree because he put on Twitter and is lying to the whole community that he has a master's degree in finance. Y'all, is a blatant lie too. He never went to an elite college, okay? He went to University of Phoenix online. And the reason why he was doing that is because we were so broke and so poor that he started going to school so he could get paid by the VA to have some sort of income coming in. That's how broke we were.
So he did tell us he had this business degree. He told us all this shit. Now, is there anything wrong with UOP? No. But to lie to us about it, and first of all, it's not a cheap alternative. Those schools are expensive as fuck. You kind of pay to play kind of a bit, right? But remember that? He told us he had this crazy degree in business. Remember that? Let's continue.
So that's the only reason why he got a degree was to use up his VA benefits for a paycheck. It wasn't because he wanted to. And his degree is a bachelor's in business administration. It is not a master's degree in finance. That is a lie.
Christina, can I ask you, do you know if he has any ties to these other tokens? Impact XP, Grove token.
Oh, yeah.
There's been, some people that have mentioned that they think he has some ties to these other tokens. And do you know if he is involved with any other tokens besides Saitama?
I actually have no idea about that, you guys. I really don't, and I'm sorry because I just have not paid close enough attention to to any of this crypto stuff, and that's only because I'm not tech savvy like that. I'm not business savvy like that. I do not understand how crypto works, and so I never even would hold a conversation with him about any of that because I never understood it. So I just didn't care. You know what I mean? And so that's why he was doing all these things behind my back because I wasn't paying attention. Well, now my eyes are wide open and everything makes so much sense and all the puzzle pieces are coming together about all the lies he's been telling. About Grove, about these other tokens, I have no idea. I know that he has said before that he invests in other tokens, but I do not know which ones. I don't know what kind of involvement he has with them. I'm sorry, I don't have a clue about that. I don't.
Oh,
That's okay. Thank
okay.
you.
Let's go to Bootsy. He's had his hand up for a while.
Hi, yeah. Sorry about my voice, by the way. I'm a little sick right now. But Chris, one of the things that we can talk about, I'm happy to sign an NDA with your legal representation, and if you're able to provide the information about those purchases, I can backtrack, essentially work backwards to figure out exactly how much money Russ has or had at any given point, which would mean that you would be able to better defend yourself legally in the divorce case. So that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about before you got pulled into this space. I'm very happy to help you with that. If you need help with it, I'm happy to talk to your lawyer as well, because I think it's important that we figure out going to try to claim that he only has X amount, and we should probably figure out what X actually stands for in this case.
Right. I would have to be advised by my lawyer before I can make a decision on that.
Absolutely, yeah. And I can give you an email, and your representation can email
Only
me or
because
call me or whatever they need to.
only because all I want out of any of this is full custody of my son. I literally do not care about anything else. I was a single for 13 years before I met Russell. So I know how to be a single parent. You know what I'm saying? I do not care
Right.
about the money and the assets. I just want
Well,
my child.
but it's definitely
and so I don't want
over 10 million. So I mean,
so I don't
Okay,
want
but
anything
so
to come back and bite me later on. You know what I
for
mean?
sure,
Like
which
because
is why
he can sue me for all of this, and I don't
sure,
want.
but that's if you're able to, when you talk to your legal representation, have them contact me, because I do this for a living. So they can
Okay.
contact me. I'm happy to help, because I'm trying to figure this out anyways for nothing. I'm doing it for free because I'm interested in understanding it. But you kind of hold a key right now to being able to figure out a lot of things for a lot of people. And part of that, whether you want to or not, I think it's important that if he had a lot of money and is going to be taking care of himself, you should be able to know exactly how much you deserve, and that way, take it or not is up to you. But you should have the option to say that what belongs to you is yours, right?
I ain't worried about that. Whether I want it or not, I know I'm gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Right. So I
and
just want
so
us to be able to give an actual dollar amount to it. And with the information that you have, again, I'm happy to sign any NDA, I don't have to say a thing to anyone ever, but it's what I like to do is try to figure this stuff out. And I worked with law firms in the past, happy to work with your lawyer to figure it out. So I just hope you keep that in mind when we talk in the future.
well, the biggest thing I'm trying to do right now is get a restraining order on him because now he's threatening that he's gonna go take my son from school. And he's been blowing up my email all day. Stop posting stuff on Twitter. I like bro, you're out here having a whole ass affair and you're worried about me posting on Twitter? Like, nah. I don't know. I appreciate y'all listening, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do from here. All I can do is just be advised by my lawyer for the next step, which I have a consultation with a different lawyer here locally, not the Alaska lawyer. on Tuesday, but they want $10,000 for a retainer. And I don't have that kind because he locked me out of all the money and assets. So I do not know how.
I think we
Right.
could
And
we
so-
could hold a fundraiser on your behalf. I would love
Well,
to
hold
be
on.
a part of that.
Yeah, we can do that, but here's the thing. That's part of the reason it's important to figure out how much money Russ had, especially if he had it illegitimately, is that you are going to be taking on a legal fee, and they can handle it if they think that there's proper reason that he should be paying you. So part of this whole thing, I don't have to worry about being painted as some sort of greedy person for not wanting to pay exorbitant legal fees, right?
Mhm.
You've been put in this ridiculous situation because of somebody else. You need to be represented properly, or he will get away with doing whatever he wants. That's the problem with our system right now, is that you got to have the money to play the game. But part of it is, if they think that there is money that he's hiding, then you will not have to pay up front because they know they'll get it from him. So if for no other reason, when you talk to these lawyers, one important thing to do is to say that you believe that there was a lot of money hidden away in these wallets. And the thing that I do is find those, because the lawyers aren't going to know how to do it.
Christina, where's your son now? Like he's with you, or?
He's with me, yeah. I am currently in my house right now. My name is on the title of this house, and my lawyer advised that he can't kick me out of here. That he moved out and he resides in an apartment now. He changed his address to over there, so he gets mail there. Therefore, that's where he resides. So, and you guys, he has been stalking me, like legitimately stalking me. He encrypted the data on my phone. I have no doubt that he is paying the time to encrypt the data on my phone and my social media. And he put a tracking system on my car. And he's been stalking me through the security system in my house. And when I was gone in Alaska, he came into the house. He took me off of the security system. He deleted me as an admin. He deleted all the security footage I had of him and Samantha cheating. And so I don't have that proof anymore because he deleted it off the panel. And so when I came back from Alaska and I moved back into my house, I had to call Vivint Security and have them come to my house and uninstall the panel and every single camera that Russ had installed in this house and put a new system in. Like, that's how bad it was. And even with that and with that stalking proof, they still would not give me a restraining order. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do now.
We got a question from Blockchainiac. What up, Blockchainiac? You better be ready to pull the trigger.
So, have you heard the name Tim Klaus before?
I'm sorry?
Have you heard the name Tim Klaus before?
No.
That's just a quick question. But look, my heart goes out to you what happened and all, but one of your posts back in the day pretty much said, this is from a lifetime of investments and this and that. You were actually directing it myself and Slim Jesus, which he called you a bad word, which wasn't cool. But were you okay with this before all this happened? I mean, that's it kind of seemed like you were perpetuating the Saitama life then, but now this happened and you're all against it.
Hold on.
You knew the Lambo where it came from.
Okay, hold up, bro. Hold on. People keep saying stuff like that to me, but let me tell you something. As a wife, and as somebody who's been married to this man for 10 years and been together for a total of 12, of course I supported him. Of course I supported him and him building a business for himself to better provide for his family. That was all before I knew what he was doing. That was back when I was not even paying attention. Did I reap the benefits of the money? Sure, hell I did. But that was because I believed in him and I trusted him.
But did you lie to investors and tell him that all the money was from successful investments before Saitama, which it wasn't? You were good back then. when you were attacking us over it. But now something happened to you, which sucks. That's terrible. I hope you and your kids do well. This dude's a dirtbag, and we know this. But it seems like you were all good with it back then until now. I mean, that's all I'm saying.
I am going to be leaving this.
I removed him.
So didn't like this part because I don't like that. It's a serious question. Now, like I said before, you're out of your mind if you don't think that she knew the details, and the reason why it's coming out is because what happened with the relationship. To me, this sounded like, we're going to avoid that. But remember, and there's some other inconsistencies I heard too. Like I believe her when she says things about the project, but you have to understand that she also was okay with it when things were going fine, right? In the relationship, and she's exposing it because she's been betrayed by him. So she's saying she's hurt in this situation. But I do believe what she says. I don't believe that she didn't know or what was happening back then. I think she knew he was lying to us because we knew that he was lying to us. Why? Because she said that he didn't drive a Lambo when we had pictures of him on Twitter driving the Lambo. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so Cowbell said it. Yeah, so she says, I'm 100% right. We just didn't want her to leave, right? So they didn't want her to leave. They wanted her to keep talking, right? But you have to understand that, yeah, she knew about that. Dude, come on now. We're not fucking stupid. I saw the fully equipped Chevy that was almost $100K. I saw that SUV. Duh, right? I saw that he bought the Lambo late October and was talking about shilling it to people. And she talked about he didn't drive a Lambo. He drove like a truck or something like that. Turns out he drives both, right? Obviously, she was okay with it when it benefited her and the family. But when he decided to, they say that money doesn't change people. It reveals who they are. And a person who's gone through something similar, obviously not crazy like this, shit happens, right? People move on. People grow apart all the time, right? People just change the way they are. They want to do. If I feel like if they think they can have a better relationship, they do. And it's brutal. It's sad, but it's a tale as old as time, and it's more common than you think in our society, right? People get divorced all the time, cheat on each other all the time. So keep in mind that she knew that he was lying to investors before. She knew that. She was okay with it because, one, it was benefiting her lifestyle, and two, it's her husband. She loves him. Look at guys. Women get in a lot of trouble because of men. Women get in a ton of trouble because of men. There are so many women that are in jail being accomplices and shit because they love a man. Women will hide a body for a man if they love him enough. I'm telling you, women do some wildest shit for the men they love. And this is no exception. This is the same thing, right? So she's not innocent. Obviously not innocent. I don't believe she's innocent. But at the same time, she was doing shit for the men. She was lying or in on whatever scheme they have going because she loved him, right? Now that he's with some other chick, she's like, fuck that shit. I'm exposing you. So let's continue.
I removed him. Sorry about that, Christina. We don't want you to feel like you're being attacked. That was just one person who we had added up. So, we're on your side here.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie. Like, sure, I reap the benefits of the money and the money he was taking from Saitama and, buying my love, obviously. But to me, it all makes sense now. He was just buying me all this materialistic shit to keep my mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? That's what narcissistic people do.
Do you now looking back now? Looking back now, do you believe that Saitama is a scam?
Oh yeah, my whole family believes it's a scam. He fucked over my family too. My sister and her husband lost $10,000, never got a dime back.
Damn.
Probably tens of millions, to be quite honest.
So what you're saying, Christina, is that all of us, it has been trying to say to the people, Saitama is a scam. I mean, Fox and Kelvin, a lot of more people, it is a scam. That's what you believe.
Yes, the same shit that we've been saying for months, that it's a scam. He doesn't know fuck all about business. He's not a businessman. He's just another fucking common criminal. Yes, that's exactly it.
Yeah, and you're right. And I know that now. And that's why I'm divorcing him.
All right, go
You
ahead,
guys need
crypto.
to, y'all need to understand something too. You guys need to pull up records and information on Russ from when we were living in Alaska. He was working as a financial person. What I don't know, remember exactly what his title was, but he was working at one of my native corporations in Alaska. Okay, and he ended up getting fired from there because he was taking money from there as well. There was something that happened with the finances there, and
Is that the
the
museum?
board of directors caught on to it, and he got fired for that.
That's the museum.
Yes. It's called the Alutiiq Museum, Alutiiq.
I've got the
That's
article
where
and
he was
stuff.
working, and he got fired from there, and it had something to do with financial stuff.
Okay, thank you. Sauce, go ahead.
He had his hand before me. It's crypto.
Oh, I'm sorry. Crypto Creepo, go ahead.
Crypto
3,
Creep, are you there?
2. Crypto Creepo, come on.
No? All right. Go ahead.
I
Sauce.
can't say
Okay.
because he sent me a DM to ask a question for him, and I didn't ask it because sorry, I just didn't think it was relevant. But the question he has is he wants to know if Max, what's Max's last name, guys?
Hernandez.
Hernandez.
Yeah,
Hernandez.
Max Hernandez has any kind of relationship with Russ. Like, are they related? Are they family? I don't think they are, personally. I don't even know why I'm asking this, but that's the question. He's DM'd me a few times asking.
That was a terrible question.
I know,
Next
that's why I
question.
didn't ask it.
Sauce,
That's
go
why I
ahead.
didn't bring it up. That's why I
Hi,
ignored it.
Chris. Chris, I just have a question for you because I know now that you see and you're saying that Saitama is a scam. I just want to know, do you know how Russ met these original devs and their involvement with all of this? That's what I want to know.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I want to know if you've met these original devs that was in Saitama with Russ and their involvement with all of this.
So the question is, how did Russ meet the development team for Saitama? Do you have any insight on that?
Honestly, I don't know details about that. This is all something that he just started doing out of the blue. It kind of took on himself that I just kind of like went with it. You know what I mean? He had told me that because I asked him, I said, who made you the leader of the pack? You know, like who decided that? And I asked him, like, are you the owner? And he said, no, this is something that I invested in a while back when it first became a thing. And he said something about he just kind of like took over, and him and the rest of the developers were like the original investors, I guess. And that's really all that I know.
Was Saitamask ever meant to be developed?
Honestly, I have no idea. I know that it was something that was developed by someone else, and they just took over it because it wasn't going anywhere with anything. And so they just kind of took it over and just made something out of it. So they were not the original like developers of the actual coin itself. It was developed by someone else, and they just took it over. Does that make sense?
We knew about that.
Oh yeah, we know all about that.
Christina, some people are asking me, as far as, is Russ still in Jamaica now? And if so, do you know where he's staying there?
Come on.
Yes, he is still in Jamaica, and late Monday evening he will be back in Corpus.
Yeah, maybe don't answer the exact location. Let's not entertain that.
Yeah, I don't want to do all that. That's a little reaching a little too far. I don't want to invade his privacy like that. I don't want to get into. But honestly, I don't know.
Hold on.
I don't know
Okay,
what
Slim,
that
if you
is.
got
Slim
anything to
Jesus?
say, you can come back up. I'm not dealing
Slim,
with this bullshit
if
right
he
now.
says one single disrespectful thing to her, like he's kicked out of this
I
room.
already booted him. I
I'm
already booted him
not.
from the panel. He can come back and ask a question, but
So Slim Jesus made an appearance, and that guy's been on one lately. You know, he's fallen out of irrelevancy. Told us he was a Bitcoin millionaire. Turns out he's sleeping on a twin's bed in his mom's basement. You know, like you don't got to lie to kick it. You know, I don't pretend to be a millionaire. A lot of people don't pretend to be millionaires. You know what I mean? But Slim Jesus made his appearance, and now he's back to irrelevancy. Goodbye, good riddance, Slim Jesus.
I'm not dealing with any sort of disrespect at all. At all.
And that goes for everyone in here. Like, Christina's clearly going through a lot. Like, yeah, this is wild information. It's crazy. And there's a lot that we, you know, want to know about, but please have respect for her. She's dealing with a lot. And, you know, this is someone's actual life.
Shout out to Christina for coming up here. Hey, you're a brave woman. We really appreciate you. Much respect to you.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate you all,
Yeah,
and I'm
again,
really
I just
sorry
wanna
that y'all are
thank you
being
for
lied
coming
to
into
like
the
this.
space. And
Sorry, don't interrupt Christina. If anybody else interrupts her, you're getting booted. You can come back. You can come back, but don't talk over her. Please be respectful. My patience is going to wear thin for that sort of thing. Go ahead, King Crypto.
Yeah. Hey, Christina, how you doing?
I'm good.
Hey, Christina, I got a question for you. So, a few months back, I was contacted by it was an attorney for the Security and Exchange Commissions for.
So when this guy said he was contacted by the SEC, that coming out of Texas, it's true. It's true. I'm not going to tell you how I know, but let's just say there are people going around calling people involved with this, asking about Saitama because they've got a ton of reports. Maybe I may or may not have spoken to people about this situation, right? So keep in mind what this guy is saying is absolutely true. But let's continue. I'm gonna take a piss.
For Texas, were you aware of anything like any investigation for Russ that he's investigated or under investigation?
No, I have not.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious because, like I said, I was contacted by an attorney and they were asking
Wow,
me all
really?
kinds of
Like
questions.
what? Is he being investigated for something? Is that something I should know about?
Yes.
Oh, he's being investigated, Christina.
Yeah, he's.
Oh my God!
Like I
you
said,
guys.
this is the Tex. It was the Texas Security and Exchange Commission. It's an attorney that works for them, but they were just trying to, this is why I'm asking you if you were aware of any of this.
No, sir, I was not. Oh my God, I'm having a panic attack.
Well, I'm not saying that he's under investigation. I was just asking you if you were aware that he was under any investigation.
No, I don't. I did not. I do not. I have no idea.
But we can connect you with the guy that may or may not be conducting such investigation.
Yeah, he could
I'm
possibly help
just
you as
scared.
well,
Like what if he does end up going to jail for this? Then my son's really gonna lose his dad. This is my actual life.
A lot of people got hurt, with a lot of these lies, a lot of these things. It's essentially Saitama was a big long con game, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of people got hurt. They had secret devs running in the background. I can fill you in later. It's I've been talking about it for so long, but lots of money. I mean, we think the dev team got away with. We could prove about $200 million, closer to probably $400 million, to be honest. They got away with a lot of money. I mean, NAM is, they're telling people to hold their bags while they're cashing out. So a lot of people got hurt from their little con game.
Yeah. So that $10 million wallet you saw, that came from people, real people.
Yeah. I wanted to put this out there too, because I know that in the past, Russ would get a lot of questions about this. And I'm sure that people, but I'm just going to make it clear that the house that I live in currently, we bought this house under bankruptcy. We bought this house before Saitama was even a thing. So the house that I have and that I'm living in and that I'm entitled to is solely from our credit and our, you know what I mean? It's not from Saitama. So I just wanted to put that out there. This house was purchased under Chapter 13 bankruptcy.
Okay, Van Peel, go ahead.
Hey, I appreciate the opportunity, pal. Hey, Chris, man, I just wanted to share two things with you. One is, appreciate you coming out and speaking to the fact, like it takes a lot of strength to do those things, and just the community, I think, is gonna really appreciate that, because not only did that individual hurt you, but they hurt a lot of other people down that line. And the second thing I just want to tell you is, no matter what happens, you're gonna have some blowback from this, because people are gonna talk what they're gonna talk, and people are gonna say what they're gonna say.
Yeah.
But understand, there's a lot of people that appreciate what you're doing, and you're standing up like that, because as long as you can stand up for the storm, you're gonna have an umbrella with the people, and that's gonna be much more important than anything else.
100%.
We got your
I
back. We
appreciate
got your
that.
back, Christina.
I know. I know I'm gonna get and I already have, I've had people blowing up my Facebook and Twitter and everything and talking trash, and that's the exact reason why I deleted my original Twitter. When this first started, I was Mrs. Saitama Guru on Twitter, okay, and I had over 100,000 followers. And there was this one guy, and y'all probably remember, because he would get on these live feeds, and Russ would have to shut him down every time, because he would get on there and call me dirty, nasty names and, all this stuff. And I just was like, it was really mentally exhausting and draining, and I wasn't going to deal with that kind of disrespect anymore. And I was advised by Russ and by the PR team to completely delete my Twitter account. And so I did. And my account has been deactivated for almost 6 or 7 months.
So you guys remember when her account got she's talking about Slim Jesus. Her and Slim Jesus were going back, like Slim Jesus called her some names, you know what I mean? And then they got after it. And I think the moment when she deleted her account was because people exposed her, right, including myself and a lot of other people, for lying about the fact that Russ had a Lambo. Because she was saying, oh, he didn't have a Lambo, right? I made a video about it, right? I mean, she's like, oh, Russ didn't have a Lambo, and people are saying they did have a Lambo, and you know what I mean? Watch Miss Saitama Guru Lambo. Here it is. Here, check this out. I made a video on it. Check this out. This is why she deleted it. She says, he doesn't drive a Lambo. He drives a Toyota truck. I do support my husband respectfully. I'm not the dev team. I am the wife and the foundation and supporter of this project. Believe it or not, my voice and opinion has a lot of power. So this is what she says. This is on the 3rd of February at 9 a.m. And then she says later, yes, the same day. Yes, here is Russ's Lambo. Since people want to be haters about it, we have invested in crypto for over 2 years. This was paid for in full with cash over 6 months. We now know that's a lie. He doesn't drive it to meetings. Meetings are never local. That is all. So this is later that night. So she's pretty much what happened is that she lied. People found out that she lied, and then she's like doing damage control, right? Let's continue. I made this video 5 months ago, right?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So, yeah.
All right.
All right. Let me stop tooting my own horn. Let's get back to it.
Months now, and I've never reactivated it. The reason I started this new account just recently is to expose him being in Jamaica with his mistress. That is why.
Okay. Tequila.
Hey, Chris, just wanted to say I'm sorry for everything that's happening to you. And they're right. We do have your back 1,000,000%. I just have a question with regards to one of Russ's closest friend. I won't say his last name, but Andy and Abelinda. What is their relationship with Saitama? Because I know Andy was promoting it very heavily early on. He's been on some of our spaces, and he just drops out. Any hard relations, Saitama, between Andy and Abelinda?
I'm not involved, like, really with anything like that.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Islander, go ahead.
Hey, first and foremost, I apologize if I over talked to you, and I'm going to keep this short for the guys sitting here that know me, because I can be long-winded at times. But yeah, thank you for having the courage to come up and tell your narrative. The one question is going to be a little different from the rest of the questions that you're going to get here in this space, and that speaks to integrity. And there are a lot of people that are almost, you could say, religious zealots about the faith that they have in your husband's project, the Saitama. From your personal experiences and your personal knowledge, what would you say to those that are diehard true believers in that? What words would you have for them right now? And thank you, Faltron, for bringing me up after shutting me down about 30 million times. I got more words than you shut me down for.
You know how I do around here.
I'm sorry, it was me. You just,
Oh, okay.
I still haven't heard a question. So if there's, if you're questioning as to why I put you down, this is why.
No. My question was for Chris, and my question was, what words does she have for those that?
Are you asking me, like, what advice I would give to the true followers and believers of Saitama? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, ma'am. From your perspective, what you know from the inside. I'm talking about, because one thing, it's like in North America, developed countries, that's one thing to invest. But Saitama's reached a lot of third world countries where, a small
Right.
investment in a massive return is life-changing for them, even if it's only a couple $100.
Mm-hmm.
And,
No, I get it. I understand what you're trying to ask.
what words do you have for those people that make $100 a month and they've saved up for 3 months?
Come on, spit it out, buddy. Let's.
So remember the shout out Saitama video where they had that huge parade in the Philippines, and it's like, it's a funny video to us, but like the core like gist of it is kind of sad, right? It's kind of sad because, if you ever had someone who lives in a third world country, you know that a few $100s in those countries goes a long way. Like, I've grown up with friends, Filipino friends, who would send their family money every week. And Roger knows who I'm talking about, Ed. He would send his family money. They'd send him like $300, not a week, but maybe a month, and that would last them the entire month. So when you see these third world countries put on these huge parades, it's like, it feels like some of these shitcoins exploit certain communities, and we'll get into that in a second here. Let's continue.
Let's go. Let's keep it moving.
All right.
That's on people's personal choices. You know what I mean? If you truly feel it in your soul that you can believe in Russ and Saitama and the rest of the dev team, that's on you. Like, I can't speak for others. I'm just speaking that I know the truth about my husband. I'm also not trying to be out here and bash him and be like, his business ventures are total shit. Obviously, there's some good to it, and obviously there's people that it has changed their lives. It has changed our lives. But at the same time, on the other hand, it wasn't all true, and like, so that came back on me too. That slapped me in the face too.
So in layman's terms, what she's saying, right? What she's saying is, hey, yeah, people made a lot of money on Saitama, and it has changed a lot of people's lives. I made decent money on Saitama. A lot of people did, right? I sold because I saw the writing on the walls. I'm like, this is fucking, scammy. I'm out. But at the same time, you know, because she probably didn't know the intricacies of the technology they're talking about. She probably thought, you know, Saitamask was going to be good. At the same time, when people bought the peak height at all-time highs, because that's where most people bought, they're way down. And those people hodled, right? They hodled on something that was never delivered on time. That's something that was recently delivered, but I kind of like stumbled across the finish line, you could say. And the product they delivered wasn't special at all. So that's what she's trying to say right there, right? Let's continue.
I don't want that to have to be the case for other people and other families out there. And so hence why I'm telling my truth. But when it comes to other people investing, you know, the Saita Realty, all that, like it could be a good thing. But I just believe that he needs to be voted out and step down as the CEO and somebody else take his place. Because at this point in time, he's very unstable and he is ruining the entire community because people do not believe in him anymore. And with that just being said, you know, Saitama and Saita Realty and all that has been created can be taken to the next level with a different CEO. That's all I'm saying.
Go ahead, Hellcat.
Hey, thank you for having me up. I have one question. What was Russ's involvement with Willie D?
Question. In all honesty, I've never been fond of Willie D. I'll just put that out there just because I'm a person who's all about vibes and energy, and that man has always rubbed me the wrong way. His involvement was with Willie D is he's been to Houston a few times and spent some time with him. Willie D has actually been out here to Corpus Christi on a few different occasions. Russ has partied with him. Yeah, so that's all I'm going to say about that.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your story.
Good question, Hellcat. Can I also ask, did Russ know that Michael Thompson?
So this is the Willie D thing, right? So I made this video because I feel like Saitama, this is months ago. I made this video because look at the way they market. Can you imagine any serious cryptocurrency products marketing like this? Check this out.
One of the new cryptos coming up, Saitama. I work with them. He works with them as well. You know it. You know, we were at the function in Vegas. They on and popping. And yeah, you know what I mean?
Get ready, son. I keep telling y'all, get ready. Saitama, get involved. You think I'm playing? Spinning the chain on that, baby. Saitama, get in.
You see how like ridiculous that is? Who do you think they're marketing to? Who do you think they're marketing to? Who do you think they're targeting? Who do you think they're selling a dream of $100 investment is going to make them a millionaire? Who do you think they're targeting, right? Remember that article that came out about that cryptocurrency scam run by the two Latino people in Texas who they were targeting? They accused them of targeting Latino community. They got 5,000 invested for $12 million, right? Low educated investors. Not to say that all people of color are low-educated investors, because obviously that's not the case. But who do you think these people are targeting? Don't be extra liquidity. Let's continue.
Was never actually in the NBA.
What?
Were you under the impression that Michael Thompson was in the NBA?
I was. Yes, I was. I met him.
Did Russ tell you that Michael Thompson was in the NBA?
Yes.
Unreal. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, Michael Thompson never was in the NBA. That whole thing was a fraud, by the way. Go ahead.
Wow.
Isn't that unreal?
See, this is what I'm saying, guys. And this is like the other guy that came on and asked that question. He was kind of rude and I responded kind of rude. But the truth is, when you're in love with somebody and you're married to someone for that long, you trust them. And you believe their every word, you know, like.
Well, the whole community believed that Michael Thompson was in the NBA, and none of us even bothered to look. I looked through every roster between 1970 and 2023 or 2022. Sorry, and he did not play in the NBA. Once I called it out, he blocked me. He was never in the NBA. He came out and said he couldn't believe people thought he was in the NBA. He never was in the NBA.
I don't want to be out here bashing Michael either. He's a very, very good, genuine man. And I've met him on a few different occasions. And I would never want to say anything bad about that man. but he is one of the people that Russ confides in about this divorce. So I'll just
Now, so this is about the Michael Thompson guy. They implied that he was in the NBA, and they got more investors to get into Saitama. Now, I made a video 4 months ago because that same guy, Michael Thompson, made a cryptocurrency project called Beyond Sports Media Token. And of course, Saitama, with a large user base, was supporting it. It came out, it pumped, it dumped. It's pretty much crap. Pretty much they were making a sports token podcast, or a podcast on the blockchain. Why do you need a token for a podcast about sports? You don't. You just want to make quick money from it. Now, one of the moments for me that really changed my opinion on Saitama was a video. I got to find it. It was a video of as Saitama's dumping. The Saitama team was in Texas for something, or another state for something. Michael Thompson walks out of a vault in an Aston Martin dealership and is talking about like all this stuff and a hodl and to have faith and all that stuff. And while he gets into an Aston Martin, I'm like, the tone deafness, the disconnection from fucking reality is insane, right? It's like, why are you walking out of an Aston Martin dealership while people are literally getting shat on, while your team's not delivering a product? Like no sensory, nothing, right? So I made a video about that Michael Thompson situation as well, about the token. To me, it was crazy. The partnerships they had with Blaze Fire Games and the old guard of the NBA was just, it was crazy. It was crazy. Let's continue. Let's continue.
put that out there.
Right.
There's a Reddit
I mean, but
thread for it, Valtron. I typed it in and just typed Saitama after, and you'll see the Reddit thread.
Right. Yeah, he was never in the NBA, so he seems genuine. That's why I loved him. He's a good con man. He even wrote a book on how to get rich. About 6 months after filing for he wrote a book on how to get rich about 6 months after filing for bankruptcy. Anyway, I'm not kidding.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah. Go ahead, Godwave.
I just got a quick question. Thanks for letting me up here to speak. Why is Skirpy Social still a little bitch?
What?
All right. None of that today. That'll be another day. We'll have a space about that one. You guys can go at it. That'll be a good space.
Y'all making me want to have a drink, stressing me out over here.
All right, let's go.
I'll drink with you. Let's do it, Christina. What are we drinking?
Vodka and crap.
Here's the article.
Oh my God.
Here's that article that came out. That was like this big thing for Saitama. Blaze Fire Games and basketball greats launch groundbreaking OGs of the Hardwood Esports League. And apparently Saitama was making some partnership with these guys. So, for example, Saitama LLC cryptocurrency company, as a part of this partnership, will be launching OGs of the Hardwood limited edition NFTs, non-fungible tokens. So that was like they're in, right? This was the article that came out. I made a video on it. It was hype at the time. It started, it helped the price stabilize after that big dump after Vegas. So this is one of the other high OGs of the Hardwood. Not sure if it ever launched. Not sure what happened to it, but this is what they were talking about with the Michael Thompson involvement. It was like that kind of, maybe it was in the NBA, right? So
this is too much, y'all. There's so much stuff I didn't even know.
Isn't that the scammer guy? Was that the scammer guy?
No.
Do you know that Ross just tweeted out 8 minutes ago saying this is nonsense? To not pay any attention. Yeah, I just pinned it on top if you can see it. Maybe
nonsense. What? Russ, come up here. Just let's have a little chit chat. Put down the marijuana. I know you're out there.
So I think this is a good spot to end this space and go to what Russ said, his rebuttal, because this is very interesting. Of course, I have to go to my burner because he's a little salty, sensitive soy boy and blocked me. So this is what his rebuttal to the situation was. Okay, so we're gonna watch this. It's only it's pretty short. But this is what he says. We'll hold quick space to clear up a few allegations. Now, there's more to the Faltron space, but I feel like it's kind of redundant information. Not much is made. No more revelations. But let's continue.
kick off. Try to keep it short.
Should be going here soon. There it is. All right, let's see.
And I've been advised.
All right, should be starting here in a few seconds.
Okay, that's good. All right, so we'll start it off real quick. There was a space earlier and some.
So this is while the space is going on. And believe me when I say Russ was in that space and he was listening on his burner account. He had to have been, because I think he originally scheduled the space to be for like tomorrow. That he did like an emergency space.
Tweets and some some allegations floating around. So I figured I'd come on here real quick and try to clear it up. I'm just gonna wait a day or two because I really do hate providing a platform to irrelevant shit, but here we are.
Yes,
so
Kel 100%.
The person who's posting on there and saying this stuff is my ex, and I've been advised not to go into too much detail about it by my attorney. So I don't like to put personal information out there because it's personal and it's completely irrelevant to Saitama and what we're doing. But it's important to speak on it maybe just a little bit to clear some minds. So without going into a ton of detail, my previous spouse and I've been separated for several months, largely due in part to her years of infidelity, and now looking for.
So he says it right there. He literally says that they're separated because her infidelity. And what we did know is that on that live stream or that space, that Twitter space that Kelbell and Feltron were holding up, she did mention that maybe she did get caught on Snapchat DMing some guy. So remember, this is still he said, she said about the whole relationship part. So who knows what's going on with that? But let's continue, right? We'll see what's going on. Let's continue.
A victim role. So, what's the saying? Hell has no fury like a woman scorned. Yeah. So we'll just leave that there for you. Yeah. So I don't really know what was said, but I'm sure that it was all a bunch of misguided, misinterpreted information. So she really had no clue about what Saitama is and what it does for the entire entity of the company in itself. So for her to be an expert now is highly suspect, to say the least.
So he's saying that she didn't know anything about the project. For her to be an expert now, it doesn't make any sense. She never claimed to be an expert. She never did. She even says that in the space. I don't really know exactly. All I know is y'all getting scammed, pretty much, in layman's term, right? So she never claimed to be some sort of expert or anything like that. So clear that up.
So as for the Dubai Expo, touch on that just real briefly. I am extremely disappointed that I couldn't make it there. I think Dubai has a force field around it that will not allow me to go. I have a photocopy of my vaccine card, and it wouldn't. And I've used it before. I guess it's dictated on an airline, so I attempted to fly with United, and they wouldn't let me with the photo because I don't know where my hard copy is. I have it somewhere, but I don't know where it's all.
Stuck in the metaverse.
No, the non-rapid PCR takes about 48 hours. So when I got to the airport Monday, they wouldn't accept it there, and they said, "Okay, we need to have a PCR." So I got one immediately right away, and tried to get a new flight, but it was all dependent on when my results came back in. It wasn't an automatic like, "Okay, your results will be back tomorrow at 5 p.m." So I was just kind of moving flights and hoping and waiting for it to come back. And by the time I actually got my results in, there were no more flights available to go out there. In time to make it for the expo. Additionally, the last minute change of flights from Texas to Dubai were around $20,000. So the flights I currently had were also non-refundable.
So lost a ton of money there, and all my non-refundable hotel reservations in Dubai. So needless to say, it was a huge letdown, disappointment for multiple reasons, that being one of them as well. So that is the only reason why I was not able to attend. Trust me, we had a ton of plans to go there, and the team, of course, handled it very well, as they always do, as they did the first time in my absence.
Like I said before, guys, when it comes to the whole not being able to go to Dubai, I just went to Europe. I went to Spain. Not the richest part, Ibiza, not the richest part of Europe, and I went to Germany and Vienna. At no point was I required to show a COVID vaccination. Nothing. On the airport website, I was supposed to upload my test or a card. I didn't have my card. I lost it. I only had a picture of it. Right. So I got a test. I passed, whatever. I tried to upload it. Couldn't figure it out. The system wasn't working. So I brought the test with me just in case. Nobody asked for it. In fact, I asked an attendant at the airport and they were like, yeah, people ask for it, but you don't really need it. So you don't need it. In Dubai, maybe. But I have friends who just spent 45 days traveling Europe, never got asked once. Is Dubai more lenient on their COVID stuff? I think so, right? Austin just went to South Korea, never got asked for his COVID vaccination. So to me, it just doesn't add up why he can't go to Dubai. It doesn't make any sense. All right, let's continue.
Can't really do anything about COVID restrictions. Unfortunately, UAE is still one of those countries that have very strict guidelines when it comes to COVID protocol. So there's not a lot I can do. They wouldn't even let me board the flight out of Texas to go anywhere else. I tried to even go into Jamaica because there was a direct flight on Wednesday.
Jamaica
out of here that would have put me in Doha, which is close, and I could have got a connecting flight because the restrictions there are much less. You don't need a PCR, you don't need any of that stuff. So, anyways, that's kind of the backstory on that. There isn't any false narrative to create. There's no alternative reality that we live in that it's something that it isn't. I don't know. I heard someone said I was in jail. Clearly not in jail. That Dubai wasn't going to let me in. No, that's not the case either. The only reason why I couldn't get in is because I couldn't board the plane out of the U.S. to get there without a negative PCR or this hard card on my vaccination. So, picture was not ample. Extremely frustrating too, because all the other guys on the team have, a picture or have used or were able to take a rapid right there at the airport. But of course, every different airline in every country is different in regards to what is needed and required and what they offer at the airport. So even drove all the way to Houston from where I live down south just to try to cut some time off there and have it be more options, because there's only a few flights from Corpus to Houston where you have to connect to out of it. Anyways, like, well, maybe if I fly up or drive up to Houston, which is like almost 4 hours, I'll have more options available to me there. So drove all the way to Houston, stayed in a hotel, tried to literally do everything and anything possible to get me there prior. It's like, well, okay, I'm going to miss the first day. Maybe I can at least catch the second day. And that didn't happen either. So, yes, extremely disappointed all around for that. Now, again, in regards to all these allegations, I mean, you guys can take them for what you will. Mental health and mental stability is a very serious thing. And like I said, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
So he's saying she's scorned and she has mental health issues. All right. That's his excuse.
To play the victim, and that's okay. And again, it's my personal life. It's not really anybody else's concern. It has zero to do with Saitama. And it's really not relevant whatsoever to the cause. And I hate that I even have to come out and explain the difference between personal life and business. But I feel sometimes the water gets a little murky because we're dealing with crypto. But it ain't gonna make headlines. Be on, CNN tonight. Saitama Guru and his ex-wife have a falling out. We're not Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. It ain't like that. So it's life has its turmoils and it goes through. And a lot of times it goes unnoticed because it's not anybody's business. But when you're in a position like myself, unfortunately, everything that you do gets to be put under the radar, scrutinized, and whatnot. So, again, take it with a grain of salt. That's what I say. everybody's an adult. They're able to make their own decisions. So, but yeah, definitely take everything with a grain of salt. So I don't know exactly what was said, and it's not really relevant to sit here and diffuse and deflect and justify, because there is nothing to diffuse, deflect, or get.
Yeah, stop what you're doing. Drop your coffee, drop your baby, drop your phone, drop everything. Hit that like button. Come back. Watch it. Clickety-clack that like button, baby.
Justify. It's just one scorned person's opinion and hearsay against my own. But at the end of the day, people are welcome to make their own decisions. But more importantly, the two have nothing to do with one another. Saitama LLC is a driving company and will be a pinnacle in the crypto decentralized space in the Web3 development. What Saitama Guru does with his time is what he does with his time is not reflective upon anything. Saitama, I'm 1000% committed to this company, as I always have been. Nothing has changed. That is my focus. That has always been my focus. There's nothing that's going to deter that. There's nothing that's going to change my mindset or focus. And your beliefs on that are your own. And that's where I'll leave it. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Hey guys. No, thanks, Russ, coming up and clearing it. Yeah, guys, it's just have to understand it's his personal life, and you guys have listened one story. I don't want to interfere and say who's right and wrong. It will come out whatever, but again, that's personal. Saitama is community-based coin, and it's a individual thing. It should not bother with the person. I had the DeFi panel there. They were asking how and what make people lose. It's just the news. And as a real investor, fear you buy, not fear you sell. And when it's good news, that's where a lot of people do it. It's going vice versa. But anyway, everybody have their funds. It's their choice. One thing I'll tell you, I promise, and I've been delivering, and I've been telling you, work will never stop. Reality.
They're acting like this is coming from some random person. They're acting like this is not coming from a person that like literally slept with this man every single night. They're like laid next to him, heard all his gripes and stuff like that. People are acting like it's just some rando off the street that's holding a Twitter live space, right? That's how they're acting right now. Crazy.
Or Saitama and whatever the coins are coming with us, this will carry on. These problems will keep on coming, but if we start picking
shout out to Danielle in the
individual
chat
problem and involved in Saitama, I don't think so. It's fair. And rightly, Russell should not speak anything about his private thing here because he knows where and when he had to speak. So no, I really appreciate that. Everybody asked me what happened, and Russ, we had the call, and we decided this need to be done to address, which was not needed, and 100% it was not needed. But again, we don't run from the problem. We come and tell what is there. But again, give us some privacy. People should have a respect of their privacy. And few more things, whatever the announcements will come, that's different. But right now, no business, nothing we'll discuss about it. It's just how to clear the air. If somebody gone somewhere to talk about this, investors should understand what is happening.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, it's not needed, but it's always been my motive and my character to come out and address things right away, as stupid as it is. And I really hate providing a platform for such nonsense. It's just silliness and immaturity. And it is, and it's personal business fabricated nonsense that shouldn't even need to be addressed. And it wouldn't be in any other spectrum except for crypto and Twitter. But it comes with the territory, right? I think we've all accepted that for what it is, because this is basically just like a giant high school sometimes, for as annoying as that can be, because we're, a professional company, professional adults, professionals in the industry, and trying to, set a certain standard. And it feels like nonstop, always something dumb that we need to talk about or discuss that is totally irrelevant and takes the focus and the shift off of work being done towards putting out little fires that are unnecessary and counterproductive and counter-conducive to business growth and development. But here we are again, and I'm sure it won't be the last time. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of what we've considered to be the norm now, I guess, which is unfortunate. But yeah, here we are. But yeah, it's yeah, and especially anytime price is down, the market is down. It's people find things to strike on and find things to bring up to the surface that's completely irrelevant and mostly fabricated. So it's it is what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. If all the charts are up and the market is good, someone comes out and says, Saitama Guru is the next Jeffrey Dahmer. He's got 77 bodies buried in his basement. Nobody gives a shit, right? We're up 50% on the day. Saitama Guru can kill as many people as he wants. Nobody cares, right? Obviously, I'm being facetious, but that's pure point in case, right? That's where we are. So, but yeah, and I'm not going to shy away from any of the stuff. That's why it's important for me to come out and at least hit it head on a little bit as much as possible. Like I said, I've been advised not to bring up too much because it is on.
Who talks better in circles than this guy, right? Who talks better in circles than this guy? Look at if he's complaining we're doxxed and it comes with being doxxed. It's like, dude, if Vitalik Buterin's ex-girlfriend said like Vitalik he's fucking doing shady shit or something like that, right? If any like major person, if any like person known in crypto, whether like really big or like minor in our space, people are going to talk about it because people want to know what the hell is going. There's going to be drama, especially when you had a $7 billion market cap, now gone down to a $60 million market cap. Off of not because the market's down, but because you're just terrible at delivering a product. The reason why Saitama failed is not because the market is down. That's stupid, right? How many times was Saitamask supposed to launch and it just didn't? So many times, right? For some dumb excuse, right? So the reason why this resonates with a lot of people because there's some truth to it. So he's acting like, oh, it's just hearsay and she's just mad and yada, yada, yada. It's not really important and blah, blah, blah. But there's a reason why you didn't wait a couple of days to have this space. There's a reason why you made a space during theirs, right? To come out and defend yourself when you really didn't say anything but like the same old shit you've been saying for years. I mean, about a year now. No one really cares, right? We all know you're lying. Or you're just, it's like professional like bullshit otters, right? Let's continue.
Ongoing legal matter, right? And now obviously probably becomes a little bit more convoluted with slander, defamation of character, gag orders, all those fun things that come into play with that. But that's the reality of it. And some people live in reality and some people live in a fantasy land, which I'll decide which part that is. So, that's really it. So, I mean, as and I spoke with the team, and I really hate providing a platform and giving a megaphone to unnecessary and undue, attention. But here we are. So I'm hoping that everybody is enjoying what's left of the weekend. I've already, of course, been in contact with the team. The expo is a huge success. We have a ton of work ahead of us this week that will get 150% of my attention and the rest of the team's attention. I will not continue to give this any more attention than needed because my primary focus is and always has been and always will be on the growth and development of this company. Every time I have to take time away to address things like this, as you can imagine, it becomes extremely counterproductive. And we don't have time nor desire nor will to be counterproductive. I don't give it attention. I don't have time for it. I don't need it. And that's not where my focus is or nor where it should be. So like I said, lots of stuff to do. It was a success in Dubai. We have a ton of work to do ahead of us. And that's where the attention will go to. My efforts will continue to go there. And for anybody having second thoughts or doubts about where my loyalties lie, that's where they are. So hopefully nobody thought otherwise, knowing who I am and my dedication to this company has been since day one, right? Since the beginning. I mean, holding AMA spaces with 13 people, right? It's still there. It's always been there, never anywhere else. Obviously, personal matters do take a little bit of my time, and in the last recent 2 to 3 months, has taken a little bit more of my time than
Oh shit.
expected or needed or wanted. But that's life, and we all deal with it. Regardless of what anybody else's situation, you have to understand and respect the fact that I do have a personal life too, and it does need tending to from time to time, especially when you're dealing with mental illnesses. So that's that. So I appreciate you guys coming on. Gabe, you guys have anything else to add? I know that I want to take up.
So pretty much he's saying that, his wife has a mental illness and she's just saying shit that's untrue, right? We'll see what happens, right? We'll see what happens. I mean, she has some allegations. It's going to get interesting because you got to think about what's going on both their sides. If he's going to get her for defamation, slander, and all these things, well, he needs to prove that she lied, right? Because defamation and slander is not saying mean things. They're saying lies, right? The basis of any defamation or slander has to be someone said a blatant lie. Well, it's on you to prove that it's not a lie. So if there's going to be blockchain experts involved in discovery, and if Coffeezilla gets in on this, right? Because Coffeezilla gets threatened with lawsuits all the time because he was, definitely, hounding the SafeMoon community, which is a bigger community than Saitama. Keep in mind, they had 3 million holders compared to Saitama's 300,000, right? Or 400, whatever, how many you have, right? Or wallets. So we'll see. It's on these cryptocurrency companies to prove that the people saying things they're blatant lies. So can they prove, like, is he going to sue her for defamation and slander? Well, can he prove that she's lying about him? Where's the lie? Like all these people on Twitter, all these people that say, oh, our lawyers are going to be looking into it. It's on you to prove that there's some slander or defamation. All right. So we'll see. Because when discovery happens, discovery looks into everything. Right? Are they going to have blockchain experts on discovery? The judge is going to look at these YouTube videos and say, I've been threatened a million times with defamation and slander lawsuits, a million times. But it's like, okay, a judge is going to watch my videos. All right. They're going to see some videos, lawyers and stuff like that. It's on the team to prove that that's not true. So, it's not easy as you think. And yes, if you have money, you can bully people, right? You can hit them with lawsuits and say, if you don't respond, we're going to win by default. Because that's what happens if you don't respond to some of these lawsuits. The person sending them wins by default. But how is this going to play out? Now, most notably in the space, we had a cryptocurrency influencer in BitBoy Crypto, had 1 million subscribers, sue another YouTuber who has 1 million subscribers for like $70K for defamation and slander, because he called out BitBoy Crypto for promoting projects. They ended up rug pulling. Now, what happened there? Well, once it was made public, huge backlash from the community. BitBoy pulled the lawsuit because it went public, right? And once you go to court, what are people going to find out? Do you want all your stuff put on blast? Because if that happens, if we get real documents that show all the things she's saying is true, then it's not he said, she said. It's no. We're lawyers. We dug into this. This is true. So we'll see what happens. Right?
Too much time and like to give a platform that's undue and unnecessary. But
all good, man. All good, guys. Keep it positive. This personal things comes and goes. It could be me. It could be Gabriel. It could be Russ. Nam. It could be anybody. Even one of the community. We don't jump on this and just listening somebody talking about it. Yeah,
what they're not understanding is that this is not just some random talking about it, right? This is not some rando talking about it. It's his ex, is his wife, his ex that he's calling crazy. These guys are so fucking thick-skulled. They're like dumb. They think it's like some random, like it's like someone went up to a random person on the street and was like, "Hey, what do you think about Saitama?" And they started saying this shit, right? Come on.
All are mature. We are really mature here. And someone is writing, so next Russ.
Oh, this guy talks about immaturity, but this is the same guy who made a clown picture of Ryan Patrick when Ryan Patrick came out against the project. He put a picture of a clown on Ryan's face saying, "Oh, you sold," even though Ryan sold at a good time. Talking about maturity. Okay.
Should leave. Guys, we don't leave our partners and our friends when there's a problem. For me personally, that's the last thing I ever think of. No, we stand with each other, and especially who have 100% of work ethics on Saitama, definitely. This thing will never happen, and I really request each and every person support when it's needed. because we are not far for the utilities to deliver, and this is not the right time to listen to private things and bring it on the commercial things. Don't do it. And yeah, I respect in case anybody have any queries and all. Yeah, we always hear it. Not most of people come and jump and clear it. We always try to do it, but sometimes it's positive, and most of the time it becomes negative because they want us to respond each and every problem. Please try. These things exactly was not supposed to be discussed, but yeah, here we are.
Yeah, no, it how you say it's unfortunate that even something like this requires any bit of anybody's attention being, there's got to be a line in the sand drawn when it comes to business and personal life. The two have nothing to do with one another, right? It's just not, it's not healthy, right? To an extent, being that we're doxxed and we're out there, we put our information out there, that just kind of comes with the territory. Unfortunately, but we've been bearing the fruit of that since the beginning, since we were one of the first docs developers out there, and that's why people don't do that. That's why they don't docs. That's why they don't put their name out there, because once you do, everything becomes open, and you guys know how vast the universe of the internet is. So anyhow, but that's the focus, right? So we'll squash this now. We're done with it. I'm sure it'll come up again. Hoping that, like I said, we don't have to rehash it, but it's important to come out and at least try to put a little axe in it and talk about it for what it's worth, and get back to the meat and the bones of this thing, and that's building this company up and building these utilities, as MK said. And there's just way too much work to do to be focusing any attention, energy, or effort towards something so obscure and obsolete. So I appreciate you guys coming on. Like I said, take everything with a grain of salt, as always. And yeah, I'm sure we'll do a space or a AMA this week to talk about all the things that came from the expo in Dubai last week.
Yeah, I appreciate, guys. See you guys soon.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, so it's over. Pretty much that's what happened. That's pretty much the story top to bottom. Look at, and for to wrap this up, right? Because we're gonna get out of here very soon. To wrap this up, a person close to Russ, who I think is obviously salty that whatever happened with their relationship is dissolved, right? She's obviously upset. Obviously, it's obvious she is upset. Now, there's no doubt that she's scorned. There's no doubt that she's going to come out and say some shit. But the things you got to listen to are not about her like disdain for the relationship and then the chick he's with. And that's why I skipped the rest of that the AMA with her, or not AMA, but her question. I guess it was an AMA with her. She talks about like more intimate stuff with him and that other chick. That's not why we're here. We're listening to the part where she talks about kind of the lies that were said to us along the way. And people forget about that. People want to pretend like that didn't happen, which to me is absolutely crazy. Like, why? They lied to us about a lot of things that got them to where they're at. If they didn't lie about a lot of those things, Saitama would have never hit a $7 billion market cap, but it did. And a lot of these wallets were cashing out. It's not some theory I made. It's not some theory anybody made about these top wallets cashing out. There's detailed information on people showing these top wallets that were doxed. These developers doxed the wallets themselves, showing these wallets that are a part of other cryptocurrency products. Lots of shitcoins that were created, that were pumped and dumped. A lot of the products that were getting listed on Saitamask, it was all inside job. A lot of those products were involved with Saitama. They showed a lot of the wallets when they were telling us, this team was telling us they were not selling. It showed that, in fact, they sold millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, right? When it comes to all the things they've done in cryptocurrency, right? In this project. They were dumping all on the holders while everyone else, all these dumbasses were, telling people to hodl, 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 hodl. Oh, you're just a hater. You're just a futter. You don't see the long-term vision, yada, 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 yada. All while staying in their little dumb shitcoin space, right? Oh, the market's down. Oh, it's just, no, it's not. It's because of the shit that got us here, right? All the bad things that happened. So listen to what she's saying about that, the lies. Do I think that she didn't know about all this stuff? Absolutely not. She knew about it. She didn't care. Why? Because one, it's her husband. She loves him. Bonnie and Clyde, I'm telling you guys, women will do some insane shit for men they love. They will hide a dead body for men they love. A lot of women in jail are in trouble because of shit men got them in trouble for, right? That's just how it is, right? Women will do crazy things. But when she got betrayed, right, or she found out he was doing something, or she felt betrayed, whatever the issue was, I don't know what happened in the relationship. She's like, fuck you. I'm outing you. I'm outing you to everybody. So do I think she's a saint in all of this? No. Do I think it's to get back at him? A lot of it, yes. But you still got to listen to some of the things she's saying because there are truths in there. So anyways, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I appreciate you guys tuning in today. Clickety-clack that like button on the way out. And I will talk to you very, very soon. And thank you so much for this $5 donation saying, says, how you going to start space mumbling saying mental health is real? I can't say much being advised by my lawyer. Dude says that all the time. Exactly, Brandon. He literally started saying, oh, I can't say much but let me make a space, emergency space while the other space is going on. And you still have people up here cupping the balls of Saitama, like literally acting like, oh no, they're fine. Insane. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm out of here. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.